I want to give you some of my geek cred that I've got, and I am a geek. I've been a geek for my life. Like, that's what we do. I've been online since '94. Back in the day when you could have registered domain names that were worth something. Instead of registering cars.com, I was looking at porn, and it was pretty much my first 10 years online. And anybody here that was old school, mid-'90s, late '90s online? Good to see you. We'll hang out on ICQ later on. We'll do that. Right, we'll do that little thing, right? For the Uber geeks, we'll talk about the ICQ people on IRC chat if you want to do that, right? Yeah, my true geeks in the house. I love it. So, my world's on marketing. So that's the Twitter name, that's the Facebook name, that's the website name, that's the first book name, everything else. But the best geek cred I've got is I'm the creator of this, the No button. If you go to this site, it's n+15os.com. Why 15? 14 was already registered. That's why. You can also go to instantnobutton.com if you prefer. We just launched the Android app that allows you to carry it with you. And it's just the one button that says press in dire situations, and it sounds like this. That's the entire site. You're welcome. To show you what we got is that's the data for it right now. I've been online since '94, I said. It's almost 20 years. This piece of shit is what I'm known for. This will be my legacy. It'll be a gravestone with like 3 stones beside it to have all the O's in it. 20 million visits, almost 14 million uniques. You can see it. Now, here's what kills me. The average visitor duration is 27 seconds. What the hell are they doing for the last 24? I'm probably pressing it 7 times, most likely, right? Only 1 million of those visits are me. I'm not sure what the other 0.13 pages they're visiting are. It's the only thing on the whole site. Not sure why 10% haven't bounced from the place. It's permanently on your screen, I assume. I do not know. 71% new visitors, so 30% of you just keep on coming. So I do love you on that. So, and I have a little Google AdWords at the bottom. You geeks pay well when it comes to AdWords. So it makes me spending money to buy comic book statues for my office. So what can I say? I'm mortally alone. So, and this is, here's the top cities for the No button. Moscow's first with 400,000. 2 is just, we're not going to tell you where we're from. 3 is New York. 4, London. 5, St. Petersburg. Man, Russia is having some bad times. Warsaw. 6, Kiev, LA, Stockholm, and Sydney. So that tells you pretty much a signal of the world of who's having dire situations right now and where they're having dire situations. It's huge. I am giant in Russia. It's amazing. I have a huge following there, apparently. And here's the best part, I think. Here's where I rank the keyword searches. You are the only audience who appreciates this slide. I show this to dentists who are like, why would they spell no with 7 O's? I don't get that. I don't understand. Not only is this my keywords that come into the site, I rank first for all these. How does that taste? I didn't even mean to, and this is what happens. I rank number 1 for every version of no except no. If you hit that key a couple times, I'm your big daddy here. This is what I do. So, and I don't do anything for it, right? It gets on average 15 to 20,000 visits a day for 4 years now. I don't do anything with it, and so I'm sorry. It's just like, I'm ashamed too. Like really, I'm embarrassed for myself that this is my claim to fame, but it is. So, yeah, drop by. We got the Android one. People are liking it. We submitted one to iTunes. It's only been like 63 weeks. We're waiting for it to be approved. So, anytime now, it'll work. So there's my geek cred for you. When I want to talk about marketing type of stuff, because my world is about unmarketing, and whether it's social, whether it's internet marketing, affiliate marketing, that's been my background. I want to talk about unmarketing for a minute to you guys. On the left-hand side of the screen is what my circle of marketers think marketing is. The brand, the logo, the corporate identity. When in reality, the right side of the screen is what branding is to me in marketing. That's Joshi. Joshi's a giraffe. and a very poorly stuffed giraffe at that. Joshy was left at the Ritz-Carlton Amelia Island in Florida. Okay, a kid left him there, they forgot him, and they went off. Okay, what happens if your kid forgets their favorite thing? Who here has kids? Who has a kid that you know about? Hands up. In a court of law, you'd stake claim to. Okay, so if your kid loses their special thing, that's it. The day is done, right? Your day is over. Maybe your week. It's like if you lost your phone. Not very funny, is it, geeks? I know. I once asked a room full of parents at a parent conference, which would be worse, if they lost their kid at the mall or they lost their phone. You hesitated. Well, the kid would go back to security, but they wouldn't return the phone. It's got my calendar, email, address book. My kid had that, it'd be more valuable, but it doesn't. So Joshy was left at the Ritz-Carlton, Amelia Island in Florida. And when they got back to Arizona, the dad came home, kid freaking out. And so he's got a panic. He does what any good father like myself would do, and he lies to his kid. And he says that Joshy is on an extended vacation. And he'll be returning home soon. And any parent in the room automatically right now is doing the same thing. Great, now how the hell are you going to get him back and give him back to the kid? You only temporarily suspended the panic, right? Which will now be worse if you don't get him back. So he calls the Ritz-Carlton up, and not only do they find him rolled up in the sheets in the laundry, they had enough wherewithal to say that's some kid's toy, held on to it, and not only did they overnight him back to the family, they also took vacation photos of him. You're not smiling right now, you have no soul. The cucumbers that make the shot, right? Really, it is, right? Is Joshy enjoying the spa? Joshy enjoying the pool a little bit? Again, eyewear kills it, right? It's always the eyewear. This is Joshy meeting new friends at the bar. That dolphin is inappropriate. Tonight at the shindig, don't be the inappropriate dolphin. Okay? If you are in your circle of people at the restaurant, at the bar tonight, if you can't spot the inappropriate dolphin, you're the inappropriate dolphin. That's the new hashtag, by the way, for PubCon, inappropriate dolphin. So, and here's Joshy working loss prevention. Okay, since he had to pay off his stay. And now that he works for the Ritz-Carlton, he had to give an ID badge. They made him a frickin' ID badge, for crying out loud. They took the badge, they took Joshy, the photos, and the letter, and they FedExed it back to the parents and the kid. What's one word that describes this?
Marketing.
Awesome, amazing, ridiculous, right? What do you think the father did, other than change his pants? What did he do? What did he do when he got the package? He told everybody, right? He tweets it, he blogs it, he emails it, he faxes it to people. This is amazing. Do I dial 9? No? Okay, we got it. Hang on. It's going to be great when it gets there. I had a real estate agent last year. I scanned a contract, put it in a PDF, and emailed it to him. He says, sorry, I need you to fax me the original. I'll give the rest of the room a minute. He actually thinks the original is going through the phone. Let's go. So I went to like eFax, and I took the PDF and sent it from the website. He got it. He's like, good, thank you, that's what I needed. Oh, if it wasn't for realtors, the general Earth IQ would be up 20 points. Don't tweet that. So that's right. He tells everybody. He blogs. I forgot to tell you. He blogs for the Huffington Post. So that was good. And he blogs it as well. And it goes nuts. It's how I saw the story. And he tweets it, and it goes crazy. I've been doing word of mouth marketing, which is a horrible term. But I've been doing word of mouth and viral marketing, just specifically that, for over a decade. And there's only one secret. There's no course. There's no class that does anything for you when it comes to viral. You want to go viral. You want word of mouth. You do stuff worth talking about. That's it. I just saved you an entire 12 weeks of a course right there. That is it. Joshy's family does not have to be on Twitter for Twitter to trend Joshi. Does that make sense? You don't have to be there. That's the biggest myth of social, that you have to be there to be talked about. Actually, I prefer if you're not half the time, right? Just let the people talk about you. That's it. That's how you make word of mouth happen. That's how you make it trend. But we think this is marketing. We think this is branding, that only if we had a better logo, we'd do better. Anybody here ever designed a logo or given input on a logo? Ever? Right, you'll never get that time of your life back. Ever. It's non-refundable. Right? This was what we used to do in my company. I know how useless it is. Right? Nobody's ever stayed at the Ritz-Carlton and said the bed was too hard, the room service was overpriced, and the front desk person was a jerk. But did you see the logo? Exquisite. We need to book there next month again. And their brochure, it's full color. Glossy. It's amazing. It doesn't mean anything. It doesn't do anything. Do you understand how much time was spent on this logo? Especially if it was a rebrand? Holy monkey nuts. It must have been months. It must have taken months. There was a left-facing Lion Camp argument, a right-facing Lion Camp argument, a tongue-in argument, a tongue-out argument, a font argument. Some creepy dude in the corner talking about Comic Sans. It was like all over the map. For the 17 designers in the room. That was for you, by the way. And it doesn't matter. Which way in the real Ritz-Carlton logo is the lion supposed to be facing? Left or right? You know what the answer is? I don't know. And I don't care. Neither do you. And that's the point. When you see a logo, you think, what do I know about that brand? What story do I know about that company? That's branding. Every tweet, every email, every unanswered email, every phone call, every anything of communication creates that brand story. You want to know what your brand identity is? You want to know what your mission statement is? Ask your customer. Whatever their answer is, that's your statement, not the fancy one you have on glass in a frame in somebody's conference room or in your office. It's not what you stand for. You stand for your actions and what you do, and that's the difference. The Ritz-Carlton is Joshi to me. That's what the brand is. In a psychological level, they say the two things you remember about a company is your last interaction with them and your most extreme, good or bad. So every person, every people who are tweeting for you, maybe you tweet for you, that interaction counts. Counts a lot more than what the logo is. We have to realize that every branding, a brand is organic. It changes every interaction. There's no such thing as a neutral brand interaction. That's a good tweet. Oh, wait. Go ahead. Okay, maybe I'll wink every time I say a good tweet and just go, okay, we'll do it. So, this is the difference, because marketing is not a task. It's not a person with marketing on their business card's job. It's everybody's job in a company. It's everybody's job in an organization. And the problem we have here with how it works is what kills me in marketing is tech. Is how we use technology in marketing. Being a geek, I love tech. I love everything about tech. And I'm preaching to the choir here, okay? And as you know, since I wrote a book called QR Codes Kill Kittens, that I have an issue with QR codes. Now, my issue is not with QR codes themselves. I say it in the intro in the book. I come to praise QR codes, not to kill them, right? It's not the QR code themselves. It never is, right? It never is the technology that's the problem. It's the application of the technology that's the problem. And we, as marketers, are the biggest ones who screw them up. These have been around for decades. They're just a better barcode, right? They're used in fulfillment, logistics, much better. But the problem in marketing is QR codes have the P word. They have potential, right? I, as a teenager, had potential. My mom used to say, Scott has potential. And before I became a parent, I didn't know what she meant. What potential means is, he sucks now. But one day, he may no longer suck as much. Yes? Here's the rumor doing this. Not a lot, because you don't want everybody to see it, but you know what I mean, right? I would like to talk about you to the neighbors without mentioning the word parole in the future. And that's pretty much me. QR codes to me have potential, and everybody, including some people in this room, have an issue with me having an issue with QR codes. They're saying, yeah, but here's an example, they work. For every good example, I got you 1,000 ones that are terrible. I have this for you. Every time you want to tell me about a QR code working, I give you one in the sky. Being pulled over Lake Ontario during the Canadian National Exhibition. What do you want me to do here? It's in the book, by the way. I've seen QR codes on billboards on the side of the freeway. Is this your thing? You want me to do this, right? A billboard in Ottawa, the capital city of my fine country. In Ottawa, there's a billboard from the federal police that says, "Don't text and drive." And it has a QR code on it. Stop it! I just think. Think before you QR. I beg of you. Does it make sense? It should be the first question in anything you do in your life, let alone plastering codes on things. Does it make sense? Are my customers, have they adopted the technology yet? And if the answer is no and no, what the hell are you doing using it? We gotta think. We gotta think before we do. I've seen QR codes in airline magazines. Think about it. When do you read an airline magazine?
Never.
When you're taking off and when you're landing. Why do you read an airline magazine then?
You don't have anything.
Because they won't let you use your phone! Which is the only thing that will scan the QR code! And even in the sky, when you're flying at 35,000 feet, and they say, well, you can use your phone then, you don't usually have a signal. Which is what you need to scan a QR code. I had a guy in an audience once in Vegas put up his hand and go, people can take the magazine home with them, Scott. Only very lonely people take airline magazines home. Seriously. If that's your market, if that's your demographic, fine. Fine. By the way, if you didn't get a copy, you came late, you didn't get a copy of the book, we have about 30 left over. We're going to give at the Barnes & Noble booth as well. So if you don't have one, go grab it there. I've also seen QR codes in emails. Oh, let me give you a visual here, all right? Okay, you got to stay with me though, it's like advanced. The email comes here. The whole room get that one, okay? You with me? Ready? Here's step 2. The camera that scans the code is back here. Unless I'm some sort of Jedi, I'm not scanning the code. I had another person in the audience, I always find the best ones, another person in the audience say, some people read their email on the computer. Well, then I'm already on the computer! Give me something that will take me from an email to the internet. Like, I don't know, a link! Nobody ever looked at a link and goes, what's that? I don't know what the next action is here. Do I smell it? Right? You don't want to split test a freaking link. You click it, there you go. Right? That's it. That's how it works, okay? I've seen... Oh, I'm getting so angry. I have seen QR codes on websites. And I have scanned them. You know where they take you? Back to the website! Stop it! Look at my face! Look at the pain! My life expectancy is shorter because of these things. Because of the anger that every time somebody scans a QR code and it takes them back to your website, a kitten dies. hence the title of the book. But in all seriousness, every time somebody scans a QR code and it doesn't work properly, they're less likely to scan the next one. Yes? We agree on that? We're hurting ourselves. We're hurting us because we're using them improperly. We're slapping them on things. I've seen them on PDFs for like concerts and events, and I scan them and it takes me to the PDF of the same frickin' poster. Because it's... Okay, I'm calm now. And now I'm angry again. This is a mall with a Facebook sticker on the door, and it's a QR code beside the Facebook sticker. Makes sense, right? Because if you're going to have a QR code, it's got to be mobile friendly, and Facebook is mobile friendly. The majority of people who access Facebook are doing so on a mobile device. So it makes sense. But you have to get close enough to scan it, and when you walk up to it, the door opens! Outwards! Into your hand! Look at it! Scan me, keep clear, scan me, keep clear. Make up your mind! Think. Just think before you do. Think before you do this, which is the QR code pet tag. You put it on your collar of your cute pug dog. Look at the size of that tag. It's like a giant saucer or frisbee. So if your cute pug dog gets lost or your psychotic cat, look at the cat. The hairless cat of Satan. There's 387 breeds of cat in this world. That's the one you went with? That's the marketing cat? At the back of the room, walk over the other side. It'll follow you as you walk the entire way. It's going to kill you. That's how they work. So let me give you the theory. I'm going to walk you through the product, okay? You're walking down the street. I don't know why you walk like this, but you're walking down the street, and oh, I see a lost cute dog or Satan's cat. I got to help them. So you have to grab the pet by the neck, pull out your phone, swipe through your 14 pages of apps you keep, and just go through it, find the app you barely use, initialize it, focus it, and then scan it. All the while holding them down. Have you ever held down a No. Have you ever held down a cat? He'll kill you. Will kill you. You can't do that. It doesn't make any sense. Let me give you some data since we're all hopped up on data here. Let's talk about the data. 85% of people in North America have a cell phone. Half of those phones are capable, keyword, capable of scanning a QR code. 17% of those people have ever scanned a code. I'm sure most of those people are in this room. 50% of those people were successful and would ever use again for a grand cash and prize total of 3.6% of people in North America would ever scan a QR code. Your pet is as good as dead. And you gotta hope those ones are the ones walking by. You know who those 3.6% are? Geeks like me, who are doing what while they're walking? This on their phone. They're never going to see the animal. It's not going to happen. What else could we put on the pet tag that would allow somebody with a mobile device to get in touch with us? I don't know. Phone number? But 99% of people with a phone can call another phone. The 1% just have issues they can't deal with. Think of the pets. Animals dying because you want to look hip. You want to look like you're tech. The main reason corporations and brands use QR codes right now is to show that they're using a QR code. That's why they use it, because their competitor was doing it, or they saw a cool thing at an event, or a conference said they're the next thing, and they're using it. I met somebody, I won't name the company, but it's 3M, and they have a bunch of commuter products. But they came out and said, we put a QR code on 3 million shampoo bottles. And I said, cool. She came up to me after the event. I'm like, very cool. I'm like, what was the conversion rate? She's like, 3. I'm like, 3% is actually not too bad. She says, no, 3. We tracked 3 scans of it. I'm like, were 2 of them you? And 1 was a designer. Maybe. Just think. It takes up valuable space. Think before you do this, which is on the back of a bus in Atlanta. Scan here to view emergency room wait times and hold your place in the ER. Because you just rear-ended the bus! I showed this at another event, and a guy in the audience says, that's not for people driving, that's for people walking. Who's walking behind buses? Is there a whole population of people I do not know about that does this? That looks at transportation QR codes? And is that not the worst thing out of them all, is trucks and cars with QR codes? The only people within a highway or a freeway that should have QR codes is like injury lawyers. That's it. Accident while scanning this? Just call us right from there. That's how it works. That's the only people that should have mobile QR codes, right? If you're going to put something on your fleet of cars and trucks, make it awesome. Make it so I want to share it. Do it like the Shadow Milk Company in Kansas City, who not only puts their website name and not only puts their Twitter name, but also adds, in case of accident, please have cookies ready. Lots and lots and lots of cookies. That's awesome. And then I see it, and I share it, and I put it in talks. That's the difference. They have a new campaign for their ice cream. It says, ice cream, you scream, the police come, it's awkward. Who wants to try that ice cream? Right? Set of Google users, sign in daily, or you can switch it, Google Plus users, meaning they have accounts, use Google services daily. Like Google or YouTube. So they all used it. So it wasn't signing into their Google Plus profile, but they were saying that since they have a Google Plus profile, it automatically logs them into Google Plus in the top corner. You see that with your face and your number. And they say, well, because it works because Google Plus isn't a social media site. It's a layer. The hell does that mean? You know what layer means? It's actually Yiddish for bullshit. That's what it means. Okay? Tweet that. Go ahead. But that's what it means. It's not Google. Here's the problem. The biggest brand abandonment online is Google Plus, which means what I mean by that is brands setting up pages and never posting. They haven't seen the value yet. If you get value on Google Plus, keep using it. I get it. I understand it. I have like 13,000 people who circle me on there. Don't know what it means. Sounds a little dirty. Don't know what it does. But I have a lot of people who circle me on there. I don't use it much. I use it sometimes. If it works for you, keep using it. The most important benchmark or case study is yours and what you're doing. If you get value out of it, you don't listen to me. I don't get a lot out of it right now. That's the difference that we don't understand. And people say, you know what, Scott, it's great for SEO. If you're using a social media site for SEO, it's like going to a bar and talking in keywords. Okay? It's not social, right? It's good for SEO, then it's a good SEO tool. That's different than being social. We have to separate these ones. We have to separate. That's why I don't consider LinkedIn to be a social media site. I consider it a Rolodesk, contact management that pretends to be social. Right? I joined LinkedIn, I'm one of the early adopters of it. I go there and talk to people I used to work with I don't like. That's how it works. I use Facebook to talk to people from high school I didn't like. Right? That's how we do things. But it's just social. It's how these things work, and the data screws everything up. And we have to understand we have to watch those numbers. We have to be careful. We have to be careful when we hear that pictures spread on Facebook better than anything else. Well, it's what's in the picture that spreads it, not just because it's a picture. We've got to be careful and look at things. Because branding happens in real time, especially in places like Twitter and Facebook. They happen very fast. I had a problem with an airline once. I won't name them, of course. But I had a problem with an airline, and it was at JFK in New York. I love New York City. I absolutely freaking love New York so much. Almost as much as I love Vegas. And I hate their airports. I hate JFK, I hate LaGuardia. Newark's gotten a little better, but it's still just like the 3 or the 4 horsemen for me. And so when I go to JFK, I get there early for my flight, like a good Canadian. I get there like 3 days early. And I show up, and I get in the line, security, and I'm doing the Canadian ambassador thing. My Canadian's up, you know what I'm talking about, right? You do the ambassador thing, you're like, I don't know, what are you talking about? All right, you want some syrup? You're pouring out the syrup. We all have portable syrup dispensers, if you didn't know that. That's what we do. Custom says we have to leave our polar bear at home, so we leave them at home, and we walk around with toques and like Mountie hats on, and we're doing our thing. And as I'm snaking through the line, about halfway through, they start allowing people who are late for their flight to jump the line. You ever been in line when that happens? right? They allow them to jump. And I hit stage 1 of Canadian anger, which is passive-aggressive politeness. Right? You guys know. Right? So they're going through. I'm like, no, you're late. Please, after you, go ahead. No, you know. I know that. Yeah, please, you have to. You're going to be late. I was early. I planned ahead. You need to go. Yeah. I know. Traffic was crazy. Who would have thought traffic was crazy in New York City? Moron. Yeah, go ahead. No, it's fine. Yeah, please. And then I finally snake through and I get to the front of the line at security and I get ready to go through security. I get naked and I put everything in the bucket and I'm getting ready to go through it. Just as I put the bucket right into the machine, the dance of the flight attendants happens. You've been at the front of security when flight attendants and pilots show up? They can skip everybody and go right to the front. To the fact that you are invisible. You are hollow man. They cannot see you. They just go straight through with no excuse me, no nothing. I don't care where you're from, I don't care who you work for, I don't care how much money you have, or how many Twitter followers you got. That does not excuse you from common courtesy. Okay? My mama raised me right, okay? Please, thank you, excuse me, pardon me, you gotta be respectable people. Alright? You should do. Thank you. See what I did there? I said thank you. That's what humans do with each other, okay? So by the ninth flight attendant, I am no longer Canadian, okay? By the ninth one who's hip-checked me, who's bumped into me without a word, I am no longer Canadian by the ninth one, okay? And I get to stage 11, Canadian anger, swearing. And I turn to her, and I say the 2 words a Canadian should never say. I turn to her and I say, come on! That's it. I think I said, come on! I'm sorry. Very Canadian of me, too, right? And she turns around, she's like, what? The flight attendant, she got Delta on her pin. Understand, okay, I know why they have to skip the line. I know why they need to move fast. But know the first rule of Flight Club, okay? That the plane will leave without me, the paying customer. It will not leave without you, the pilot. And the flight attendants, okay? That's how it works. So I get it, but I'm paying them. I'm the one coming on that flight. So she turns around, she's like, what? And I said, I didn't hear anybody say, excuse me, not one of you. And she looks at me and she says, I said excuse me! In that tone, by the way, beautiful tone. With Delta all over it. And I said, I didn't hear anybody say it. And she looks at me and goes, well then open your ears! Do you know who I am? And then I hit stage 13, Canadian anger, which is silent, flailing facial expressions. And then she goes through, and then I go through, and now I'm so angry, I'm like stage 15, Canadian anger, I make a shun list. You ever made one? I will never fly Delta again. My son will never fly Delta. His unborn children will never fly Delta. You know what, right? I went beyond the grave. In my will, it'll say you can never fly Delta. You want to make this up to me? I am a big deal on Twitter! I have 160,000 followers, 12 of which are online at any given time. You want to make this up to me? I want my own plane. I want to sit on the pilot's lap. And I want 2 bags of pretzels and not for you to give me a saucy look when I ask for them. That's it. I am so furious. I do what any good greedy, selfish social media superstar would do. I tweet. And I say, Delta Airlines flight attendant pushes in front of me at JFK security. When asked for at least an excuse me, she replies, open your ears. I am so furious. I am so blind with rage. I misspelled Delta. Did you notice it before I pointed it out? Neither did I. Delta replied 3 minutes later. They saw it. You know how they saw it? Here's your best search tip I've got for you. You know how they saw it? They have pre-done search settings saved up for anybody who's blindly angry at them and misspells their name. That's smart thinking, you know. And they reply 3 minutes later with, "I'm truly sorry to hear this. We expect our flight attendants to be courteous at all times. Please accept my apology." I see this 3 minutes later sitting at the gate. I look at it and I'm like, "Oh, if you think you can..." Oh, okay. It's okay. It wasn't a big deal. I didn't know you were listening. How are you today? It totally caught me off guard. This is the actual screenshots. It totally caught me off guard. All I could say was, "Well, that made me smile. Thank you. You just diffused my anger." Here's my only real tip I'm going to give you about social media. This is all I got.